Well, as we are getting fall harvest rolling along, pretty soon after, we're going to put the combines away and we're going to think about that fall field work. What are we going to do with fall tillage, cover cropping? How's that all play into your carbon program and more? Joining us now for a conversation about that, Clay Craighton with Agoro Carbon Alliance is with us here today. Clay, it's good to talk with you again. How are you?
I'm doing good, Jesse. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. Busy time of year for everyone in agriculture, of course, with fall harvest going on. So, thank you for a few minutes of time to catch up here today. It's been a little while since we talked Agoro, and obviously, your guys' carbon programs continue to roll on and evolve, and getting a lot of folks signed up and interested in those programs. And fall, of course, after harvest, a pretty key time of year as you're kind of thinking about your carbon program and more, isn't it, Clay?
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, things are gearing up here. Folks are getting in the fields, going beans, high moisture corn. So that time is now. Like that, ever seems crazy to think about. That's already here again, but here we are. So as folks are thinking about, some different maybe tillage options available, or taking out a pass, or going to a new implement, it's no better time than now to think about potentially getting involved with a certain program that might pay you additional funding for that. So, yeah.
Well, let's talk about that and some of the different things that we do when it comes to fall field work. At tillage, of course, is one thing. Just that overall soil health conversation and the decisions you make and cover cropping, etc. And in terms of Agoro, I know there's some different things that farmers and ranchers have to consider to qualify, et cetera, et cetera. So maybe walk us through some of those things and some of what you were talking about with growers here heading into fall field work.
Yeah, absolutely. We can start with the tillage aspect first. So typically every conversation, every grower is different, every operation's different. Even a field by field basis can be different for what, this field might be no-till, this field might be not. So typically how you can get involved and qualified for program like ours is we figure out, okay, what are you doing already? What are you interested in doing? So if you want to dip your toe, so to speak, that could be as simple as just taking out one pass, or taking out your fertilizer pass. Like instead of fall anhydrous, maybe you ban some nitrogen, something like that. Small differences like that can get you involved into a program. Or you can take it up a notch, so to speak, on the conservation side and go from, hey, I'm fully ripping the field, to I'm going to do vertical tillage, or I'm going to do strip tillage, more of that stair step approach with your tillage implements like that too, or all the way to no-till. So if folks are thinking about that or moving that direction, they can certainly get qualified for a program like ours. And like I said, there's all sorts of little stipulations where you can get involved with subtle differences like that anhydrous pass, for example. So that's on the tillage aspect side. And then cover crops, as folks are putting those in now, and between now and the next month, essentially. So if you're brand new to cover crops, that can qualify, obviously, like if you're putting some cereal rye out, or if you've already been doing a non-legume, let's say, and then you wanted to maybe add some vetch in there for some nitrogen additional credit, or some clover, like a legume species, you can also get qualified for a program like ours. So differentiating that species can also help. And like I kind of stated before, it all depends on the acre, right? It's not just, hey, I did no-till over here, I don't qualify. Like maybe that field might not for no-till, but maybe this field you have going that direction does. So I always urge folks to have the conversation. Let's figure out what you're working with and figure out how we can get involved.
Well, and having that conversation, I think that's important because sometimes more times than not, I would say, I feel like a lot of farmers and ranchers maybe just immediately think, well, I've already done this for so long, or that, or whatever the case is, and I wouldn't qualify for some of these programs. But it's important to have that conversation and really understand, maybe you do qualify in some aspects, Clay. It's just important to talk about it and see what options are on the table, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's it's actually a presentation I have that I've titled "Don't Self-Disqualify," like that when I've spoken in front of growers before, because of that very aspect. Like I said, it's a field by field basis. You might not on Grandma's East 80, but Uncle John's North 40, you might qualify there. So it's all about really getting down to the field level and what the comfort level is with the producer and where we could potentially be a fit.
Well, and thinking about this too, I know you guys have a lot of great resources available on your website, including a carbon calculator and things like that. So talk about some of the resources that you guys have available online if producers want to take a look?
Yeah, online, like you alluded to, our carbon calculator, it's been great. It goes on there and it gives you an idea. You can put, hey, I have 500 acres in Franklin County. I'm interested in doing minimum till and maybe some cereal rye or something on there. And you can see roughly what a quote would look like for your operation there. And then based off that quote and off that calculator, you can click speak to a representative and they would put you in touch with a representative like myself. And we can have a discussion and go more in depth on that. So it really gives you an idea. It's very intuitive, also kind of walks you through like step by step. You can do all your fields in one batch. Like here's 1,000 acres in X county, or you can go as intricate as you want to. So I love the tool. I think it's great. It gives guys more, tools at their fingertips to essentially see if it's a good fit. Then we also have the Carbon Knowledge Hub on our website, which I think is very beneficial. It gives a lot of background to carbon markets in general, how they work, how they operate. It gives a lot of feedback into our program. What are the practices on a practice by practice level? There's videos, podcasts, articles, everything you could really want. And there's even a search engine there now too. So you can, if you're interested in our soil sampling methodology, you can search soil sampling. It'll take you to actually a video of me and then 2 other articles at that point like that too. So, yeah, there's a lot of resources there available for growers to get more in tune with what we're actually doing here and be more prepared even prior to a conversation with a sales rep like me.
AgoroCarbonAlliance.com for more information to find all of those details and resources. AgoroCarbonAlliance.com. Clay, before we let you go, anything final you would want to reiterate to farmers and ranchers thinking about maybe getting involved with a carbon program like the ones you guys have available from Agoro?
Yeah, but basically kind of like want to hit on what we talked about already. Like, even if you don't think you qualify, have the conversation. If it's something you've been thinking about or, trying to trend that direction, let's see if it could be a good fit for your operation and what some custom quotes and estimates could actually look like for a producer. And also with our program, we do have a range of pasture practices available also throughout. So if a farmer happens to have some cattle and some pasture ground, we can do carbon credits on both pasture and row crop acres. So I'm happy to talk through all those ins and outs of both sides of the program, and looking forward to speaking with whoever's interested.
AgoroCarbonAlliance.com for more. Clay Craighton with Agoro. Thanks for joining us here today. Always good to talk with you. Have a great rest of your week. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jesse. You as well.
Make sure to subscribe to the Market Talk YouTube channel. There, you can watch our latest interviews with the top market analysts in the country, find bonus content, and much more. Just go to youtube.com/markettalkag and hit the subscribe button, or you can search for Market Talk Ag on YouTube.